time to be still and know He is God. Rest in Him and know He's in control. Do you need rest in your life? Are you exhausted? Dan Dean's remarkable Christian music journey began in 1992 when he joined his friends Randy Phillips and Sean Craig to record Phillips, Craig, and Dean. They have sold over 2.5 million records, received #1 hits, and many more accolades. Offstage, Dean has served in full-time ministry for nearly 50 years as a lead and legacy pastor and co-founder with his wife, Shepherd's Rest. As he continues to travel and sing with Phillips, Craig, and Dean, God is leading him on a new season of a solo artist. This is his story. This is today's Nashville. This is faith. Dan Dean, what a blessing and honor to sit down with you. You know, I'm a huge fan, have been a fan for years.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be with you, the celebrity that you are, and I'm just so excited to be with you and share this time.
Well, thank you. Phillips, Craig, and Dean, love, love, love your music.
Well, thank you so very much. It's been a great journey, 33 years now, and
Still going strong?
I think last time I counted is 14 albums. And we're talking about going back in and doing some more recordings soon. So.
And millions of records sold.
I
Millions.
guess, I'm told.
Millions. You know, I read, and I didn't know this, that you were a pastor, and all the guys in the group are pastors.
That's correct. Yes, in fact, the first year we were together, and we had come out with our first album, we were in a van, traveling somewhere to sing, kind of paying dues, getting our name out there, and we had this conversation. What happens if this group, if something good happens and we get to the big stages? Are we going to leave our churches? And we made an agreement that day in the van that the church had given us wings to do what we were doing and that we would not leave the churches that we were a part of. And so all these years later, I just celebrated my 40th year with the church that I've been a part of that entire time, Heartland Church in Carrollton, Texas. Randy's in Austin with Life Austin. He founded a church out of the one he was a part of. And Sean Craig is in St. Louis at Cross Point Church. So we're all still at the same churches that we were when we started the group.
In all different areas. How do you keep together?
Airplanes. Somebody asked one night, we were having a pre-concert Q&A session. When do you guys practice? We said, we're doing it tonight on you. But the truth is, when you're in a studio and you record albums and you sing hours and hours of the same song, you pretty well learn your part of the harmony. So we have sound check and go over stuff, but it has worked for this entire time. And people ask us, how are you still together as a group after all these years? Because you don't see that very often. And we tell them, because we live in different cities. And we have space. When we're together, we're together. We have a great time. When we're apart, we're apart. And I think it has added to the longevity of the group.
Well, everybody loves your music. But before we talk more about it, let's go back.
Okay.
And talk about your childhood. You have an amazing story about your father.
Yeah, my dad, a World War II veteran, shot 3 times, was a paratrooper in World War II. And the second time he was shot, he was in Belgium. It was the Battle of the Bulge, and their battalion had dropped in a few days before then. They walked into an ambush, kind of to make a long story short, and that day was going to see the majority of his battalion wiped out. They lost their lives. My dad was down this long line of men, and he watched the young man next to him die. And he buried his head in the snow, and he said, God, if you'll get me home, I promise you the rest of my life will be yours. And he came back, And he tried to forget that promise, but the Lord wouldn't let him. So at 30 years of age, he went into ministry. 4 boys, 1 on the way. And because of that one decision, his 5 sons all ended up in ministry. Out of the grandkids, I think there's 8 or 9 that are in full-time ministry, and now there's 3 or 4 great-grandkids. So because of his one decision, the rest of the kids decided to follow Jesus at an early age. And it's amazing what one man's decision or woman's decision can cause to happen.
It is. It just takes that one person to change the life of another person.
Exactly.
Because you never know what it's going to happen.
Exactly.
When was the time that you remember that you decided to say, yes, I'm going to follow Jesus?
Well, it was a youth camp, and I think I was a 6th grader. And the appeal went out that night, and I found myself with a whole bunch of other 6th graders down at the altar of this camp we were at and poured my heart out to God. I had always, from just a little kid, I can remember loving God, loving worship, loving music. And when I made that decision, I remember my dad was standing behind me praying with me. And the next Sunday, we went back home and he baptized me, and I've never looked back. I mean, I've had moments of doubt, just like any Christian has, but never looked back. I've loved being a Christian and then being involved in Christian ministry. It's been awesome.
When was the time that you decided to go into music? How old were you?
I started piano lessons I think it was the 2nd or 3rd grade, and I loved music, but my dad at 16 came to me, and our piano player had left, just like it happened a lot in a military town. The people involved in your church were all military, and the piano player got shipped somewhere else. My dad said, "You're going to have to start playing the piano in church." I said, "Dad, I can't do that." "You're going to have to. There's no choice." So that's how it started. And at 18, I went to study music under Lanny Wolfe, who was one of the big songwriters at the time, thinking my life would be fully devoted to being a worship pastor, never dreaming I would ever become a lead pastor. But God He works in mysterious ways. So that's kind of what happened.
We're going to talk about how God moved you from the church to going on tour and changing the world and reaching millions. And we're going to talk about that when we come back.